final pick right here. And I do like the fact that there is a little bit more of that breathing space for todak this time around, skilling a whole lot better in that sort of sense. When they could definitely go in with a pickup with the way of the dragon as well, but RQ here, I do like how they responded.
Yeah, the final pick from RQ, and this is going to be a different game for both teams. Todak still trying to retain their identity, but RQ, they want to strike back, and they want to go for those heavy fighter lineup. You see the Kimi, you see the Export, you see the Hayabusa, and I believe the last one was a Ruby for RQ.
Well, I definitely see that RQ always fills us up with a whole lot of surprise. We're talking about the Kings here, who likes to actually set the tempo, set the meta, and set the pace for everyone to follow. And now, of course, they are 1-0 up on this sort of the scenario. So they're pretty much sitting comfortably. But this is also that sort of sense that in the upper brackets, you can still try a couple of things and still have that safety net to fall back into.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe not for long. If they were complacent in any sort of point of the game, that they may be falling down to the lower brackets as well.
Yeah, especially when the series progresses really quickly for Mobile Legends. In a blink of an eye, RRQ are already up 1-0 in this best of 3, and we are talking about the upper brackets. These teams fight teeth grinding just for this spot, just to be here. And one of these contenders will be knocked down to the lower bracket by the end of this best of 3. And if you are on the back foot, if you are told out right now, keeping the identity is one, but executing it will be the challenge.
Definitely, execution will prove to be pretty tough. It's one of the best the world has to offer in that sort of sense. Both todak as well as RQ has gained a whole lot of all the support coming in, not only from Malaysia, but the rest of the world on how beautiful they actually execute all of their sort of the drafts, all the way down to the macro and micro play.
Yeah, I think the macro play is definitely the impressive part from RRQ. You can kind of look at them and say Evo's Legends were doing the same, probably better in Group D. But fact of the matter is, I feel like the macro play for Mobile Legends is more important than having those micro skills. Skills is one, but knowing how to control the map, knowing the fundamentals of the game is ultimately what's going to lead you to victory, because it sets the tempo. It forces the opponents to play your game. In RQ, they basically attach the strings to todak and make them puppets.
That's true, and this is where it really separates pro players from a bunch of ranked solo queue players who are possibly chasing for those stars, where they really know what exactly to do to actually make all these sort of sets to actually bait people out and follow their sort of a way of play. And this is also that sort of fact where they really have to also find a couple of all those mistakes to actually punish, and RRQ are ruthless at that. The moment that you commit one flaw, they will find that hole and they will dig it deep and of course bury down their enemies in the ground.
Yeah, and well, to say it, maybe not todak, maybe it's tida, maybe it's no. Game 1 was going down that direction, but todak with the Cho and the Lunox, two of their comfort picks. They're getting back into the zone. They eliminated the Dyrop after feeling that Dyrop was ineffective. Maybe Game 1 was a warm-up. Maybe todak are the slow starters. They need time to warm that engine up to get it rev. But RRQ, you look at the draft and you would think to yourself, the split push might not be the option to go for because of the presence of this Hayabusa.
And now that we're having that Hayabusa coming in, it's going to be an effective split push for members of RRQ. Well, of course, I might say too soon, as todak could also try to punish him as well while he's laning and try to negate as much of that sort of a roaming coming from that Hayabusa. That's definitely going to be something that's really important to factor in, because if he gets that free roam, he could easily assassinate anyone over on the river. And now it's time for us to, of course, have a bird's eye view on Asiat Arena as well as the players who will be playing game number 2.
The battle will continue at the Celestial Palace. Todak against RRQ. Now RRQ, one game up, feeling really confident. You mentioned that they didn't seem to even break a sweat while taking that game 1 away from todak, but todak, they should definitely be sweating right now. And if anything, taking that 5 to 10 minutes to recompose and reevaluate what they should do in game 2 is of utmost importance, and you cannot succumb to this pressure. Yesterday, the interview with Onyx did show that, but we'll keep that for now because game 2 between todak and RRQ is underway.
Starting things off, we're already seeing a lot of all these movements coming from both sides. The Nuts will be a little bit of that game changer heading in towards those 5v5 team fights. Chicken wing spot out by Liam as well. Great split screen coming in from the production team, so hats off to you guys. Right at the back. Well, then as well as Amjago managed to go in for the very first clear over on mid side. Immediately hops in towards their territory to get a little bit more extra goal.
Yeah, it's impossible to match the push of Xbox plus Kimi. Flamethrower plus Gatling gun, and way too fast to deal with. But again, Hayabusa, you have the Archive sticking with him, so xinn is gonna have a pretty decent lane compared to this Lolita Cho. X-Ray tries to go for the counter jungle, but Lemon is there, and that is the problem right now. todak, they can't stick to the same exact playstyle because RRQ, they are pressuring this solo lanes. They're not even caring about the middle lane. Middle lane was left wide alone because they want to make sure todak cannot split push.
Yeah, for the side of todak here, they're also trying to actually go in for a couple of those steals, but to no avail for todak. They're slowly just roaming around like headless chickens. They're not really securing all too much. While we're looking at a little bit of that goal, of course, laying towards RRQ, but it's too small to even call it elite for the time being. While Liam being a really good scout here across that river, just slowly moving in and out. Same goes to the Nas as well. Well, Chiku slowly getting that boots here for a little bit of that roaming potential as we see Finn already on the move as well.
And I like what RRQ is doing. They're playing this 1-2-2. They make sure that their solo laner can deal with Thanos, while the other two duos walk around, create havoc across the map. But X-Ray, he's the first to hit level 4. Lemon getting jumped on, trying to get away, does get the stun out, and he dashes to safety. X-Ray not able to convert that into a kill.
Well, X-Ray still a little bit far from that sort of scenario to actually secure themselves that first blood. But Finn here might just be taken down in a 1 versus 3 skirmish. Now Firaga armor has just been popped, so Finn's got to be a little bit more careful than he was before. That's going to be the turtle coming up online, and now Lemon looking for that engage. Flicker coming out from the Nuts, and that, well, of course, going to correct myself. Flicker coming from the side of RQ side, and they are now in pole position to actually secure this turtle.
Lemon got away, but the Divine Judgment will find Liam. Hurricane Dash will keep him alive for a bit longer, but his first blood for Toda. And now Ben comes in with the last stand. He has to immediately retreat. The Luminum Blast actually got cancelled. Nunas, he messed that up, but it's fine because he just has to re-engage. Ben trying to get away with the Flamethrower to keep himself alive, and Toda, they will now secure Turtle.
I just love how they are playing this one with a solid way of just hitting it in towards that jungle to invade. E1 now, of course, taking a little bit too much of that overstep, and they will have to fall back. Let's have a look into the replay, brought to you by U-Mobile. And Liam was definitely caught off guard with that perfect Divine Judgment, pulling him all the way back into his team.
Yeah, props to E1. He was 0.5 seconds faster on the trigger finger. He caught Liam mid through that 1,000-pounder, and he just dragged him back to the rest of Todak. So Todak getting the first blood and the turtle. Great start for them. They're still able to apply pressure to the side lanes, sticking to their identity. This is what I like about Todak. They're not going to change anything just because it failed, because Moon will get that second kill.
Well, of course, the Ruby hasn't really come up online all too well, but Xinn's not going to be making him move any further. Wow, what a beautiful hurricane dance that was, and that kill will be channeled in towards the side of the Hayabusa.
Immediately Todak, whatever time they can find, they sacrifice a body for a turret. Perfect, the flicker right in. Chiku found the way of the dragon. Liam goes down, more killing spree, and he will find another one. Double kill for this Lunak. Todak, they lead by 4.
As they go on the killing spree, we can hear the crowd go frenzy, and now OG channel kill. We play for 1. Let's get back into the game. We're seeing a little bit of fighting, but of course, there was a great kill heading in towards the mid as we hear an unstoppable force coming in for RRQ.
Who needs the replay when the live action is just absolutely bonkers? Lunox less than 5 minutes in, 6-0-0. Absolutely monstrous. It's going to be a really big threat to RRQ, and Todak flipping the script around. Maybe they've woken up.
I've talked about that Wonder Kid food,
Turtle
and
resurrecting
now
soon.
he is coming up online and showing what he's made up here. He's going for a chase as well.
Divine
Ewan trying to
Judgment?
land that Divine Judgment a little bit way too far, my friend, as we'll be taken back for a little bit for now. Now, of course, so safe for us to actually have a look into what's going on there as Liam gets pulled back. Oh, then us is on the other corner as well, but Liam has already flickered away, and Vin will not commit, as we'll see one more kill in the hands of todak.
todak absolutely massacring our RQ in game 2. The cardiac priority, perfect. All they needed was the Divine Judgment, RQ. They are eyeing on this second turtle. Xinn waiting in the wings, Vin being distraction, but Ivan goes for scouting duty.
Xinn?
Goes in, he kills the turtle, and he gets out.
Rex Waker Keon sneaking this one in, and wow, we talk about ninjas, and this one literally did his duty.
That came in like a shadow, and he just disappeared. RQ with that turtle will be able to stall out the lead from todak. We talk about todak, 7 kills to 2. You can look at the goal graph though. RQ, they're pushing back, they're retaliating. Lumina Blast is out, but immediately flicker from Lemon to get out.
Well, Lumina Blast was well timed, but that's going to force a lot of all the spells going on their cooldown. But what we have for the Volatile Light will be Liam trying to actually pin them on the wall, but X-Ray should be well enough healthy to actually take the lights of Lemon. But here comes the rest of todak as well, crashing over the side of it as they try to commit to this fight. Overstep here, and X-Ray the first one to be taken up. Order Brilliance may pop as well, and then us caught in between, forced to flicker away, and here comes Xinn as well from the back. They're all in the disarray as they have Tico way of the dragon, and he enters this battle here as they will flicker away. But here comes Xinn, and shadow kill as well. RQ takes them off.
Xinn! The team wipe for RRQ! Chiku sneaked that with the dragon, but you cannot take your eyes off this ninja. He came in fast and furious, took the immediate triple kill. Just look at this replay by U-Mobile. Xinn, he was brought down low, but todak was in no position to fight RRQ. They pushed through, and the tanks were not able to protect against Xinn. He came in, immediately wiped 3 off the map.
He actually came back to try to turn things one around, but Xinn, he was in prime position. He held back for a little bit longer. He might have only 30% of health left, but that was well enough for them to actually get in. Now we hear a little bit of warfare coming from the fans as well. Shouts of todak as well as RQ as we see the Ruby falter.
todak definitely needed that war cry. They needed that kill onto Lemon, but Xinn will be the moon of RRQ. Lunox Knight 1-1, but this Hayabusa is coming online. He can deal with this Lunox single-handedly. RRQ getting their second turtle, which is the third of this particular game. And you look at the goal grab right just now, because of one fight, it completely dove back down to RRQ's favor.
And that definitely skyrocketed in their hands. Well, we're also seeing that sort of split push coming in from the top side as well. And of course, X-Ray doing X-Ray things here, just trying to actually secure this buff. Liam as well.
Oh no.
Vin. Oh no.
They drag Vin back. Piraga arm against Papa Liam to split the battle line with the Hurricane Dance. The fire stick is dead, but X-Ray just keeping on tap with this Vin. They actually stop him. Vin, he gets out. Chiku now wants to get in. X-Ray will survive. Clean disengage from both teams.
Endless battle being fought there by Xinn. And yep, I just gotta say, every one of all these members from todak as well as RQ, they know what risks to take, and that's definitely not one that they should commit into. But speaking of that, Nena's here being caught out for yet another time.
They pull the Lolita back, and Xinn immediately goes right in with the shadow kill. He bounces to the minion waves. So todak dodging that death blow right there from this Hayabusa. But you can see the arrival. They're gonna box X-Ray in, and X-Ray has nowhere to go. Mega kill for the Hayabusa.
I just love how Liam comes right in for the arrival just to pin them to the wall, negating some of all these members' useless, but in that sort of sense, only one, and that will be X-Ray. And that's definitely more than enough. Last Insanity coming out, same goes to Order of Brilliance. They're diving right in, but all they needed was the tower, and they will back away for the more.
They immediately force out the Order of Brilliance from this Lunox so that todak will not be able to fight, but 10 minutes in, the Lord has spawned RRQ, immediately congregating at that area. Kimmy on guard duty. I am Lemon on guard duty as well. They know todak desperately need this to hold on, and they are not afraid to stand their ground. Lenas, again out of position, has to charge away.
We're already looking at RQ setting up shop as well, as we see Xinn, of course, doing a little of those dicey moves. Liam, once again, pans people off with the Hurricane Dash. Tida tries to pull him away, and now one more brutality coming into this battle here. It's going to be Vin fronting the fight, but that's all that they needed. Just pickoffs, pickoffs, and pickoffs. And without that Cho, they might just have less chances to secure that Lord.
Yeah, and actually trying to find a way in, not able to get that. Divine Judgment was used on Liam, but they were not able to convert that into a kill. So RRQ have full control of the entire map. They can do whatever they want at this stage. todak again losing Chiku 0-3. This Cho has not shown the effectiveness that we need. He got a great kick in that previous fight, but because Xinn came in and wiped the entire todak, it didn't really matter. The goal graph now is painted all red. It coalesces with RRQ's national flag. The Lord will be started down to 30%. todak, they need something to happen. RRQ, they're gonna take it slow. Whoever the Lord for now. Make sure the todak goes zone out. Chiku, too late to the party. Lemon now. Looking for the engage. Chiku managed to dash away, but the flip they caught Chiku, and Chiku will be made into a meal. He does get out though. Then last is Andy. He's gonna fry Chiku with that flamethrower. Meanwhile, Xinn going crazy. Unstoppable goes in with the shadow. Nuna's a bit starting up trying to get away, but Liam pushes him back, and the rest of todak into the wall. E1 managing to get out with a still bell, but X-Ray keeping the team alive. Two down. They need two more. They need to do as much as they can. X-Ray will be taken down. Maniac for RRQ, and it's up to Chiku to keep todak in the upper bracket.
And they're not going to give away a salvage so early into the very first series of the game, but they're crashing in towards the bottom side. This just might be the fate being sealed, and now Kings of Kings, RRQ, Rex Riku, Keon will take game 2, and they will be well on their way and towards the upper bracket semifinals.
todak came in on a riptide. RRQ was a tsunami in the first best of 3. Absolute destruction. They gave todak no room to breathe, no space to move, and they strangulated our Malaysian representatives.
Rex Riku Keon has held the Trident, and they controlled the ocean, forced